Good morning, you crazy kids. It's Tuesday, November 26, 2019, and you're watching the Daily Mix TV. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. Charles Schwab has announced its intent to buy rival TD Ameritrade. They're looking at a $26 billion acquisition price as the brokerage industry undergoes a price war. Schwab in October revealed plans to eliminate its commissions, forcing other brokers to follow suit. Now, buying TD Ameritrade, if it's approved by regulators, would create a $5 trillion giant company, helping Schwab compete with other companies like BlackRock, as an example, as this industry undergoes massive changes. Brokerage houses have come under fire in recent years with the rise of fintech. So it's not surprising to see an acquisition cycle like this begin. I would be surprised if we didn't see more M&A activity coming out of this sector over the next couple of quarters, especially in the reality that we may be facing a recession next year. eBay is selling StubHub to Viagogo for roughly $4 billion. The cash deal will help expand Swiss-based Viagogo's ticket sales to more than 70 countries. Viagogo's purchase also reunites its CEO, Eric Baker, with StubHub. Now, Baker was a co-founder while he was in business school. eBay says the sale will help it maximize its long-term value for shareholders, according to a report out of CNBC. The deal is expected to close by the end of the first quarter of 2020, and that depends on approval and conditions like any merger or acquisition. In this context, when you look at Viagogo's business, acquiring StubHub makes all the sense in the world, especially given the popularity of the platform. So, great job for our friends at Viagogo. I'm just curious as to see how they're going to control the transition over, because remember, as soon as you acquire a company, you have the responsibility of pivoting or rather transferring that business for its existing consumers onto your platform. So the question becomes, is Viagogo prepared to deal with the popularity of StubHub in terms of the volume of their customers? All right, Black Friday is just around the corner, and different generations are taking their own approach to holiday shopping. You know, we talked about this last year, where millennials, spend more time online. Gen Z is starting to adopt more Gen X and baby boomer values and behaviors. So it appears that this year is pretty much more of the same, according to a report out of the Wall Street Journal and the National Retail Federation and Prosper Insights and Analytics. So millennial eco-shoppers champion environmentally conscious and social responsible buying, while Gen Xers are shifting their habits online. So believe it or not, Gen X is actually pivoting a little bit this year more towards e-commerce. Now, despite changing trends, some people still swear on in-store blockbuster deals. So you can look for those doorbusters on Friday to create, as usual, the same kind of mayhem and chaos. Now, roughly 47% of shoppers would rather start their shopping in stores, and more than 80% of Gen Zers plan to head to the shops over the holiday weekend. So what this represents is Generation Y, millennials, created this vacuum in retail at the holiday time, and a lot of that had to do with the launch of Cyber Monday. So when you look at millennials' behaviors as it relates to holiday spending and shopping, most of them will head towards e-commerce, whereas Gen Z now is pivoting back to old school and going back in store. We saw this trend, as I said before, pop up last year. It's going to continue to grow. All of it depends, and I cannot stress this anymore, all of it depends on retailers. If they continue to pivot their business and target younger demographics, their business will grow. The problem for most retailers in blaming Amazon and everybody else except themselves, the problem for them is responsibility. If they take responsibility and they nip it in the bud and pivot that business model so that Gen Zers continue to want to go into retail for experience and shopping and so on, then that will save our retailers. Looks like insurance companies are learning to pivot their own strategy, giving them direct access to consumers at the retail level. Nearly a year after CBS bought Aetna, UnitedHealthcare, the health benefits business of UnitedHealth Group, is saddling up with Walgreens. They're opening 14 UnitedHealthcare Medicare service centers within Walgreens stores in 5 metro areas. The two companies have signed a multi-year agreement that will see the first Medicare services centers opening in January. Quote, "We are expanding access to UnitedHealthcare Medicare resources to better serve our members, providing them with all the valuable benefits they have come to expect from their UnitedHealthcare Medicare Advantage plans, plus delivering the customer service and information they desire locally within Walgreens." And that's Mike Anderson, who's the CEO of Medicare Part D business at UnitedHealthcare. Now, these centers are going to be located in Vegas, Phoenix, Cleveland, Denver, and Memphis, and are meant to allow Walgreens shoppers to learn more about Medicare, talk about their UnitedHealthcare plan benefits with service advocates, and believe it or not, enroll in plans. Now, UnitedHealthcare Medicare Advantage members will be able to make an appointment for an in-store annual wellness visit at their local Medicare Services Center via the company's House Calls program. Quote, "Walgreens' collaboration with UnitedHealthcare helps people navigate their healthcare options and provides convenient access to affordable care. Through strategic partnerships like this, Walgreens store locations can offer comprehensive services tailored to the specific needs of the communities we serve that are conveniently accessible alongside our pharmacy services." And that's Rick Gates, who's the Senior Vice President of Pharmacy and Healthcare at Walgreens. So Walgreens and UnitedHealthcare are also working together. Now, get this, because this is blow away, on the new AARP Medicare Advantage Walgreens plans, which includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage with Walgreens as the preferred retail pharmacy. They're going to feature other benefits similar to other Medicare Advantage plans from UnitedHealthcare, including dental and vision coverage and a healthcare network, as well as access to the company's Renew Active Medicare Fitness program. The AARP Medicare Advantage Walgreens plans includes 46 plans, and the companies noted that while members are not limited to only filling prescriptions at Walgreens, they are going to have lower drug copays and access to enhanced discounts through the Walgreens Balance Rewards program. So Walgreens is getting basically 2 bangs for the buck. They're getting the access to Medicare recipients, and they're able to leverage their Balance Rewards program to drive deeper loyalty. Now, these plans are going to be available in 24 states. So for Walgreens, this is a very smart move. You know, I've been very tough on them lately for a whole lot of the right reasons, but it's going to be interesting to see how baby boomers react to this, because typically baby boomers don't like this kind of programming. It's complicated. There are multiple parties, that kind of thing. That's more of a Gen X, like young Gen X, older Gen Y mentality in terms of multiple parties coming together in a integrated format in order to service the customer. So for Walgreens, I think it's smart to get out ahead of it. I just hope they're not going to overcomplicate it, because baby boomers, again, they want something that's simple, especially in their retirement. They don't want to have to overthink it. And frankly, I feel terrible. As an example, my parents are retired, and you know, they're in their 70s, and hearing, you know, their concerns about Medicare and what's going on in the system, and what Medicare Part D means, what their costs are, Social Security, those kinds of things. So I'm hoping that Walgreens is smart enough to have figured out with UnitedHealthcare and AARP how to make this very streamlined and straightforward. Those Duncan fans, you know, yesterday we talked about how there's a group of dedicated Duncan fans that are stockpiling styrofoam cups. Well, now any obsessed fan can have their home smell like what America runs on. Homesick, a fragrance and lifestyle brand, is partnering with Dunkin to bring the sense of their popular coffee flavors to your home. There's going to be 3 limited edition candles that are inspired by the coffee chain's popular treats, including the original blend coffee, peppermint mocha flavored coffee, and old-fashioned donuts. Quote, "Dunkin' is backed by such a passionate fan base who know the brand better than anyone. So it was essential we got the Homesick and Dunkin' range right. As huge fans ourselves, the Homesick team was eager and honored to take on the challenge of bringing that cherished Dunkin' feeling to people in a completely new and exciting way that lets them enjoy Dunkin' like never before. And that's Taylor Sickard, who's the co-founder of Homesick's parent company, Win Brand Groups. Now, or Win Brands Group, excuse me. Each scent in this collection was developed by Homesick's team of researchers, candlers, and perfume chemists who worked with the Dunkin culinary team to ensure that these fragrances would be recognizable. So, as you can see, the packaging is in prints that mirror Dunkin's pink and orange branding. They retail for about $30 and contain a coconut wax blend that offers 60 to 80 hours of burn time. Look, a bunch of years ago, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, came out with their own candle, and everybody was like, oh my God, that's insane. Nobody's ever going to buy it. You're right. It sold out right away. Now, anybody who's been to a Dunkin' Donuts, a Dunkin', I apologize, or a Starbucks, or even a Tim Hortons, the people who go to these chains are passionate, loyal brand advocates. So a candle that retails for $29.95 is going to sell through the roof like that. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I can't wait to see people beating each other up over these candles because, I mean, frankly, the old-fashioned donut one sounds like it smells really good. But I can't wait to see what this turns out to be. All right. We knew The Mandalorian, the first ever live-action Star Wars series headlining Disney's new streaming service, Disney Plus, was going to go through the roof. But we didn't know how much the Force was truly with this new series. Less than 2 weeks after debuting, The Mandalorian, which takes place 5 years after The Return of the Jedi, is officially the most in-demand television series in the United States across all platforms. The show has nearly tripled its demand week over week as Disney opted for a traditional weekly release schedule versus the binge method that Netflix and Amazon and Hulu often, Netflix and Amazon often push out. Speaking of Netflix, and this is where it gets really interesting. The Mandalorian surge has actually ended Stranger Things' 21-week reign as America's most in-demand digital exclusive series. So what's the big deal, you ask? Well, check it out for yourself.
Is the world more peaceful since the revolution? It is a shame that your people suffered. But bounty hunting is a complicated profession. They said you were coming. They said you were the best in the parsec. Would you agree? Mandalorian, look outside. They are waiting for you. Yeah? Good.
I can tell you, having watched the first 3 episodes, it is absolutely a rock star fun time. Great story, compelling storytelling by Jon Favreau. Can't wait to see episode 4 this Friday. All right, as this week is Thanksgiving, we're going to highlight some fun Thanksgiving-themed stories and throwbacks. So today's Thanksgiving throwback is one of my favorites. Do you remember the WKRP Turkey Drop?
What a sight, ladies and gentlemen, what a sight. The copter seems to be circling the parking area now. I guess it's looking for a place to land. No, something just came out of the back of the helicopter. It's a dark object, perhaps a skydiver, plummeting to the earth from only 2,000 feet into the air. Second to the third. Yes, no parachutes yet.
Those can't be skydivers. I can't tell just yet what they are, but... Oh, my God, they're turkeys! Oh, Johnny, can you get this? Oh, they're crashing to the earth right in front of our eyes! One just went through the windshield of a parked car! Johnny, this is terrible. The cars
Running around, pushing each other. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the humanity. Oh, people are running about. The turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement.
Yeah, there's no way that would get on TV today. There's just too many people would be offended by it. It's sad because it was a fun show, and this episode in particular is legendary. Now, there's an incredible story going around that could only come from New York. In a first Thanksgiving of its kind, a group of New York City transit riders aboard the L train, and that was coming out of Canarsie, Brooklyn, set up and served an entire Thanksgiving dinner, including turkey, mashed potatoes, and yams, to fellow commuters on Sunday. Of course, reactions were wildly differing on social. I mean, everything from people who were outraged that a food vendor who was selling food illegally was arrested on a platform while this was being allowed, and, you know, how beautiful it is to share a meal with strangers, to what the hell were they thinking because the trains are so dirty. Now, as the legendary gossip columnist Cindy Adams would say, only in New York, kiddies, only in New York. All right, guys, I'm out of time. My name is Sean Patrick Hellman. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mix TV. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, please email thedailymixtv@gmail.com. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Hump Day.